Good evening, or good afternoon. Call to order the zoning subcommittee for Monday, September 13th. Would all rise and salute the flag?
Roll call of the members of the zoning subcommittee. Councilor Janino. Absent. Councilor Guanasso.
Here.
Here. Councilor Sereno. Councilor Sereno.
You can go back to him. He just took a step out. He'll be right
Okay. Councilor Visconti.
Here.
Here. And Chairman Keefe.
Present.
Here. A quorum is present. First item on the agenda is Council Order 21-247, zoning amendment of the McClellan Highway Development Company, LLC, care of the HYM Investment Group, 1 Congress Street, Boston, Mass., requesting an amendment to Title 17 of the revised ordinances of the City of Revere relative to the Suffolk Downs Overlay District.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And I believe HYM, we have some presenters ready. Name and address for the record, of course.
Excellent. Good evening, everyone. Councilors, my name is Doug Manns. I'm a partner with the HYM Investment Group, and we're here to go through our zoning subcommittee presentation for you guys regarding two minor changes for our overlay zoning district for Suffolk Downs, which is really being presented to you guys so we can actually advance our first life science building known as R10 and R11. And we do have a short presentation, so I'm not sure we transition it over, but there's a button for that, I'm sure. Oh, there you go. Excellent. All right, so I'll just go through the presentation fairly quickly. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. So again, you guys know the site very well. Here's showing the 161-acre site, Suffolk Downs. Go forward. As you know, we are fully permitted and approved both in the city of Revere, Boston, as well as the Massachusetts, which is really awesome. So I won't go through these details. You guys know it, so I'll just keep advancing quickly. I will do a little bit more about the Phase 1R overview. So the good news is that we gave a presentation back in June from Tom, went through it in a lot of detail what we're expecting this year, but also we were just here a few weeks ago to kind of give you an initial preview. But we're really excited to really be in the execution phase now of this project. So Phase 1 overview will consist of multiple buildings. So I'll go through them in detail just quickly. So we'll have our first residential building known as R9. We're actually going out to the street tomorrow with this, so it's 100% designed. Our contractor will be taking it out to the market, and we're looking at breaking on this ground by the end of the year or first quarter of next year. We also have, which we're really excited about, is buildings R10 and R11, which is a 2-phase life science lab building, and that's what we're here about tonight. We also have other buildings, R1 workshop. So this is kind of our gateway building. This will actually be a CLT building or a cross-laminated timber building. It's actually going to be a heavy timber building, so really a showcase type building, which we're really excited about. But those 3 buildings really make up our first phase. And then we have 2 other buildings that will follow, R3, which is another residential building, and that'll create the real Beachmont Square Plaza area. So really a lot to see here. We're really excited about it. But again, that's just a quick overview of Phase 1R. This just shows you an aerial plan, and I think I have a pointer, actually. So again, it just shows you, kind of turns the orientation, but you can see the Beachmont blue line station in the upper right-hand corner, and you can see the buildings noted here as well. So here is the R10, R11 building. It is a 5-story building. It'll have 2 levels of underground parking. Also, as part of this, we actually are advancing additional parts of our open space system. You can actually see in the left of the image our outdoor amphitheater, which is the second piece of open space for the Revere side, will be built as part of this project, which is really exciting from our perspective. So again, that will serve partly for stormwater detention, but more importantly, really as an outdoor performance theater that can be used by the community or other organized events. And that's in addition to the Beachmont Square Plaza that we're creating. So it just gives you a couple of quick specs on the building itself. So, life science is approximately almost 400,000 square feet of life science, a small bit of retail, 240 parking spaces, and again, we're about 5 stories in height. What's cool about this building and really unique is that it's a 5-story life science building that'll be biomanufacturing ready on the first 2 floors, right? So we actually have taller floor-to-floors on the first 2 floors. They're 24 feet high. They have heavier structural load requirements, but basically this really can be a hybrid building, really meeting the market today. and so we're really excited. The building can be built all at once or in 2 phases. Right now, we're planning on building it in 2 phases. So, 2 quick things about why we're here tonight really with the zoning subcommittee is that when we originally permitted this site, we had a buffer zone that extended along Washburn Avenue, and that buffer zone actually extended much farther past the end of the actual Washburn Avenue homes. It kept going type of thing. And so what we're looking at doing is trying to pull back some of those height setbacks. So our overall heights aren't changing, just some of the setbacks on the western boundary. For the most part, those setbacks are shown here. And you may recall, we actually bought the 600-foot strip of wetlands that is now to our east of this site, plus the last home on Washburn Avenue. We did that for some of our resiliency improvements. So what we're asking for is to actually pull back the height setbacks along that area, which is really undevelopable. And so this just shows you what was approved back in 2018. And then this just shows you the simple change we're looking at doing. So we're still leaving the height setbacks along the majority of Washburn Avenue, but we're pulling it back because, again, life science buildings like to be rectangles, right? And so those height setbacks don't work very well for that life science building. So that's the first change that we're asking. The second change really deals with accessory signage, and this was honestly a bit of an oversight on our part. You guys might know or recall there is the Stop and Shop and Target sign that's at the entrance of Tomasello. Technically, that's not our sign. It's on our property through an easement agreement, and the original zoning technically doesn't allow for signs that are not related to us on our property. And so we do need to maintain that sign. We're going to move it and relocate it and hopefully come up with a little bit of a more appropriate design that's in keeping with the new development, but we need to allow it to come in, otherwise it wouldn't be allowed by zoning. So honestly, those are really the only 2 changes that we're seeking for in the zoning. I'm happy to answer any questions about those 2 changes or on the project itself. And I believe I'm also joined here by Mr. O'Brien. So we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you. I know there's a few councilors wishing to speak. I'll ask the subcommittee members first. Councilor Guanasso. Also, for the record, Councilor Sereno and Janino have both in attendance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It certainly is, this looks like it's all housekeeping on behalf of the applicant, and it's certainly, if they think it's going to enhance the property better to everyone's avail, why, it's really something we just voted through and get it done with, because they wouldn't be standing here proposing something to be detrimental to the project. So, and we're all showing our support unanimously, and so I'm all for it. And if you think it's right, then I agree. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other subcommittee members? Okay, and the ward councilor, Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Doug, I just want to ask 2 things. I know we've had a problem on Washburn Ave with the flooding, and I was just wondering if that's something that you guys worked on, because they never got flooding before, and a lot of those people got flooding in their basements after you raised the, your property, so.
Yeah, so one thing that we actually did, we actually advanced the drainage line that we were changing anyways already recently. So we actually rebuilt a whole new drainage line that runs along Washburn Avenue and also Winthrop Avenue, because they had some flooding more recently within the last year and a half or something. So
yes,
that has dramatically improved the localized flooding. But we also, as you know, as part of the Phase 1R project, we actually are building a new berm at the end of Washburn Avenue, and that's why we bought the 130 Washburn Avenue. That berm will be built to a height of 18.5 feet, right, which will really also stop long-term flooding as well. So we hopefully will have cut off the flood path too. But there was kind of 2 incidences, but the localized flooding, we've been checking, we don't think there's been many major issues since then, and we've been working with DPW to make sure there's not. But we did advance that new line because there's definitely were some issues with the older line. So hopefully that continues to be good for the neighbors.
and I just have one more question. I've gotten a lot of calls for Tomasello Drive going into where the Stop and Shop is. It's really dark. There's no lighting. I was wondering, are you going to be tweaking that area with lighting and possibly? I know it's yours, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Tomasello is owned by us, right? So we can definitely go back and take a look at that. Tomasello won't be realigned until probably the 2nd phase, but we can definitely take a look at issues of lighting. And then also, we are, the bus stop bench is actually in the Phase 1R package, so that'll be installed too as well. That was one of your requests, so we're installing that. So, but we will go back and take a look at the lighting to see if we can do something in the interim or get a better sense of the schedule on that too as well.
I just want I just want to ask, and I've been asking for about a year now, can we get a bench where the bus stop is?
Yep, and
So
that-
we can just, we have a lot of elderly people that take the bus, and they're standing there with their groceries.
Yeah, so that bench is in the package, so that'll be going, I don't know the exact timing, but it'll be going as part of this project.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you very much.
Yep, great.
Council, were you looking for a bench a little sooner? Were you looking for a bench a little sooner?
Yeah, so yes, and we have Andrew Townsend who's working on that bench specifically, so we'll get it out there.
Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Obviously, I'm the biggest cheerleader of this project, so, well, I think I am, but we may be tied.
Yes, I think so.
But I'm not asking for as many things as you are, so, because I know that this is truly the best development that the city of Revere will ever see. And we're grateful, at least I am, someone who's been here a long time and knows what a good development is. Without the life science, it was a wonderful project. Now it's just through the stratosphere, and I'm just so excited about this project. And I'm even more excited about the close to $50 million in revenue it will provide when it's built out. So I have no questions. I've got all the answers I need, and I'm dying to see the shovel in the ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Council Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a brief statement, okay? I support this program, this development 100%. You know, and we talk about a need for a new high school in the city, and we certainly do need a new high school with technology and all the other aspects of it. But high schools cost money. The new high school is probably going to cost us $300 million in that area somewhere, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. The state is going to respond to us with probably 70 to 76%, depending on a few things. The bottom line is, it's going to cost the city approximately $90 million. So when I hear all the comments out on the street about why are we bringing in outside developers, we're bringing in outside developers to get projects like Suffolk Downs and down the road Wonderland built, so we can get that extra revenue. Any extra revenue we need in this city to build a high school or anything else, the drainage, the sewerage, the water, it's been probably long overdue. It comes from growth. It comes from growth like Suffolk Downs. And that's why I'm supporting this publicly tonight and any other time. Thank you.
Thank you for your support, appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilor. I'll just add a few comments, and I know I'll open it up to the rest of the board if we can probably vote on it. But just like Councilor Powers and a few of the other councilors, you've been coming to us for almost 3 years now. And just talking about this, we do hear the comments and we get them from everyone. But for the most part, the community has been very supportive of the project. And even the council, we've had very little dissension. We've pierced through all the documents and we get the comments, oh, here comes the bait and switch. So far, everything you've changed, 98% of it has been positive. Adding better types of buildings for us and adding different types of infrastructure that will improve the job market in the city and obviously the tax base in the city and what people want to come here for. So the bait and switch hasn't been bad, if that's what you're bringing to us. And you've been very forthright. You've always been very honest. So we appreciate that. And working with, we're small. We might be a small city for you. So I know you're dealing with Boston, but we are the fastest growing city in the state.
Well, honestly, it's been a pleasure working with the city of Revere on these projects. It's always been very diligent, and we appreciate it. And we know how much important commercial development is for you. And honestly, when Tom announced it 2 months ago, we were really excited to be able to bring a life science building to the city of Revere. And we're already into design development on the documents, and so we're moving on it. And we appreciate your support through this process. Thank you.
Thank you. And just for people out there to pay attention and see, in the Seaport, you see what's going on at the new John Hancock building in the Seaport that is now being turned into, I believe, a life science building. It just goes to show you how much need there is out there. This is a building that was built less than 10 years ago, and they're already retrofitting it, doing probably $200 million renovation on a building to retrofit it for the need of the community, so, well, the need of what people want in this area, Boston and Massachusetts. So thanks for being here. I have no further questions, and I'd like to open this up to vote. Thank you. Call the roll.
Shall the zoning subcommittee offer a favorable recommendation to the full city council to amend the to further amend the zoning map and zoning ordinances of the city of Revere relative to the Suffolk Downs overlay district? Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes, Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, and Chairman Keefe.
Yes.
Yes, the zoning amendment received a favorable recommendation. Council order is, next up is 21-248 on the PUD 21-01, the McClellan Highway Development Company, care of the HYM Investment Group, requesting an amendment to a master plan PUD special permit allowing for redevelopment within the Suffolk Downs overlay district created pursuant to Chapter 17.26 of the revised ordinances of the City of Revere.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And this is pretty much, Mr. Mans just went over this in depth, covering the both. So I'm not sure if you have anything further to add. No? Okay. Roll call, please.
Shall the zoning subcommittee offer a favorable recommendation to the full city council to grant the relief requested by the petitioner to amend the master plan PUD special permit relative to redevelopment within the Suffolk Downs overlay district? Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes, Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, and Chairman Keefe.
Yes.
Yes, the PUD received a favorable recommendation.
Madam Clerk, next
Next
item up.
item on the zoning subcommittee agenda is Council Order 21-249, special permit application C-2111, Mike Ith, LLC, 74 Regina Road, Lynn, Mass., seeking permission from the Revere City Council to modify and expand a non-conforming 8-unit apartment structure by establishing and confirming the existing 10 units within the apartment structure at 565-567 Beach Street.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the zoning subcommittee. My name is Attorney Larry Simeone, and I represent Micah LLC, who seeks a special permit to modify a non-conforming structure. The particular structure is being modified to confirm the 10 units that exist there today in accordance with 1740-030B. The individual LLC that owns the company began owning its ownership in 2009. It's 74 Regina Road, Lynn, Massachusetts. Mr. Pace, the manager of that LLC, however, has owned it as previous trustee of Beechnut Realty Trust. So Mr. Pace has been the owner-operator since 1989 of this 10-unit structure. It's on Lot X, 4,274 square feet in the general business district. It presently is a non-conforming lot It doesn't meet the requirements of the minimum lot size and frontage. Therefore, the structure itself automatically becomes a non-conforming structure. The structure also doesn't comply with a couple of the setback regulations, Q and V, under the ordinance, specifically where it abuts a residential district or use. The assessor's records show that the structure was built in 1906. And currently, over the last some 30 years, it's been assessed as an 8 greater than 10 unit building. So what we're doing is we're proposing some renovations to that structure. Specifically, the exterior and interior renovations will be to repair and replace a knee wall in the front of Beach Street and add some trash receptacles in front of the bus stop. There's pointing that will be done on the brick facade and painting on the first floor units, window replacement in a couple of the apartments. Interior changes shall include front hall repair, replacement, broken banisters, painting the front hallways, upgrading apartments, 4 kitchens of the apartments, and replacing damaged tiles throughout all the apartments. So at this point, I have presented for the board's review proposed findings and a decision. That proposed findings and the decision are done in accordance with 1748-080C. The zoning ordinance requires the council to make findings, so I provided you proposed findings 1 through 9, and 1 through 10, take that back. I also added other considerations with respect to traffic flow and adequacy of water. And finally, at the end of the proposal is the recommendation of conditions. So the city special permit, site plan review committee reviewed the thing and only had one recommendation, and that recommendation was essentially that all the units be brought up to code. And my position on that is I don't think that's in line with the special permit, and so I've asked that you consider 3 conditions. So I've established a proposed set of conditions. And the reason why I think it's these site plan review conditions is it doesn't really match up. It has no rational relationship with the special permit. The special permit is to modify the structure. It clearly establishes how it's going to be modified. It clearly establishes to confirm 10 units. I'm proposing that we modify, that you take the condition of proposed modifications, which include exterior and interior alterations, and shall be reviewed by the fire department with respect to compliance and safety codes, that a raised landscape area shall be created on Beach Street on the side of the non-conforming structure, and the final landscape plan will be submitted to the site plan review committee, and a final as-built plan, including location and modifications as set forth herein, including all parking spaces, fencing, and landscaping, must be filed with the site plan review committee before the issuance of any occupancy permit. That said, I'll stand to answer any questions, but I think that's a little clearer and straightforward to the issue alteration than the general statement made by the site plan review committee. I ask you to not take that recommendation.
Thank you, Attorney Simeoni. I know that I'm not sure if any of the zoning subcommittee members wish to speak on this. I have any questions? Councilor Guanasso.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In review of the proposal submitted by the attorney, it seems pretty evident that this is something that's in line with what should be done. The premises is there. He's not expanding the premises. He's just putting it back into what it should be, and I would be in favor of it.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Sereno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to echo Councilor Guanasso's sentiments. Normally, when projects come before our committee, the zoning committee, I look when we are increasing unit size, and that typically always, alarms me, and typically I'm opposed. But in this situation, these are already existing. The owner is just trying to make the situation right, and therefore I will be voting in favor tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to, any other zoning subcommittee members? Councilor Visconti.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too will be in favor of this motion tonight. I think I like the fact that there is a fire inspection report in the jacket that says 10 units as well that has been inspected. So I think I have no problem with voting in favor of this this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, too, support the special permit with the modification the attorney asked for. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Councilor Novoselsky and then Councilor Rotundo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've lived in that neighborhood all my life. In the last 35 years, I've always known it as a 10-unit building. And basically what we're doing is just doing, which we've done in the past, is just confirming what's there. Now, it's already been mentioned that fire has already been inspected. They have fire alarms and pull boxes and smoke detectors already in the building. Now, does it need a little dress up? Yeah, it does, and he's willing to do that. And I've been in the building, I've walked through it, and it's just a place that is there. You know, and I just thank the committee for their support for this, what you see is what you get situation, and I just hope that the rest of the council agrees. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor. And Councilor Rotundo.
Thank you, Chairman Keith. I totally agree with this. I've actually been to the property itself. I can't see any reason why we can't go forward with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. You know, and from my opinion, very much like the rest of the councilors, you know, if the life safety is taken care of and, you know, it has a CO and it receives a favorable certificate of occupancy, then I don't see why, this is where we have to legitimize these homes in the city. You know, if we're taxing them for many years as 2s, as 5s, or whatever, and then we come back after 20 years of taxing them at that, and telling them that that's not what they've been paying for, then which is it? We're gonna give them back their money? Or are we gonna give them what they've been paying for? And that's where our city we have to kind of clean that up. And I know that it's something that we have to work on, and we're gonna be working on, but, so that's why I'll be in support of this as well tonight.
Roll call.
Councilor Rotundo.
Thank you. This is something that I've been echoing now for the past 4 years. We need to set up a process in which people who are being taxed as a 2-family, taxed as a 3-family, have habitated there as a 2 or a 3-family, have had mayors in their houses, had one of us in their house, and now are being told by, you know, city government, you're going to have to rip out that unit. There has to be a process and a program set forward in order to make that happen. And because you brought that up and we echo the same concern, I just wanted to forward that. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to be specific on your vote. Would it includes the findings and
just gonna get there.
recommendations 1 through 3,
Correct.
and not the special?
So we were going to take into consideration the advice of site plan review, but we were going to only offer up points 1, 2, and 3.
So site plan review's recommendation will not be part of the decision?
Correct.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, you're going to have to read that the funny way, but
I actually don't have the Attorney Simeone's conditions in front of me, but he was going to email them to me. Thank you.
there you go.
The conditions to be read into the record are as follows, as submitted by the applicant's attorney. 1, the proposed modification, which includes exterior and interior alterations, shall be reviewed and approved by the fire department with respect to compliance with fire codes. 2, a raised landscaped area shall be created on the beach, on Beach Street, on the Beach Street side of the non-conforming structure. A final landscaping plan for the site must be approved by the Site Plan Review Committee. And 3, a final as-built plan, including the location of modifications as set forth herein, as well as all parking spaces, fencing, and landscaping plan, must be filed with the Site Plan Review Committee prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit. The final as-built plan shall show the location of all utilities within the site, including water, sewer, and drainage. On the special permit request, subject to the findings and conditions as submitted to the zoning subcommittee. Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sereno?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti?
Yes.
Yes. Council President Sambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Chairman Keefe?
Yes.
Yes, the special permit will be forwarded to the full city council with a favorable recommendation.
Madam Clerk, with that concludes our meeting for this evening. Have a great night. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Appointment Subcommittee for the meeting of September 13, 2021. We have two names, or two applicants before us this evening. The first being 21-262, appointment of Drew Bunker to the Board of Health. Is Dr. Bunker available? Dr. Bunker is not available. We've already said that, Judge. Relax. Dr. Bunker is not in the audience, so we will hold that over until our next meeting. Next is 21-263, appointment of Ano Asisway Key. Please come to the podium. And I practiced that, and I didn't get it right. You know, I practiced that, and I went to the city clerk. I had her write it out.
I appreciate it.
But you had it right on the money.
Yes,
God
sir.
bless.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. sir.
Please state your name and address for the record, please, and just give us a little brief description of your background, and that's it. And we'll ask questions. We have a lot of questions to ask.
Sir, first of all, good afternoon. Thank you
God
for
bless.
the opportunity to
Thank you for coming.
work and volunteer and assist any way I can in my new hometown, Revere. My name is properly pronounced as Anayo Chukwu Soeki. That's the full. But my friends and family and everyone here can call me Anayo, which is what, is fairly straightforward after a couple seconds of practicing. Well, just short and sweet. Basically, I moved to Revere in November, about a year ago. Super excited to get involved, helping about whether it's development or economic reform or any of that sort of things to uplift the community. My experience in terms of what I did before coming here, I would say the most significant in terms of public service is Peace Corps. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in St. Kitts and Nevis from 2008 to 2010. After that time, I've been in and out of the public sector space. I had a good opportunity to work in Latin America, Mexico, Costa Rica. I worked particularly in areas of development of economic opportunities for folks and women and minorities that didn't have, I guess the traditional exposure to resources that allow them to build businesses. One of the most proudest business I worked with was called FUNDES, which stands for La Fundación para el Desarrollo Sostenible. It's the Foundation for Sustainable Development, and this is where I worked in Costa Rica. I came to, again, as I mentioned before, and I'll wrap this up quickly, I came to Revere last year. Although I'm relatively new to Boston, Massachusetts in general, and Revere specifically, I came with an interest and passion to help in any way I can.
Great. At this time, let me introduce the membership of the Appointment Subcommittee. Councilor Giannino, Councilor McKenna, Councilor Powers, Councilor Visconti, by virtue of being Council President, Councilor President Zambuto. Any questions from the membership? Councilor Visconti.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to say first, congratulations on the nomination. I will be supporting this nomination first and foremost. I like the fact that you're new, okay? Because we need new people to get involved, and the fact that you've been here just a year brings more vibrant, a different perspective to the city. So I'm for that, and I like to see that. So I'm going to be in favor of this. The resume speaks for itself. So once again, I am in favor of this.
Thank you, Councilor.
Appointment.
Councilor Powers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, let me say that I'm very impressed with your background. I'm going to be supporting you this evening, and I think this is a position that is very important to the city of Revere. I think our population is growing rapidly. There are many people out there, particularly with regard to the pandemic, that are gravely in need of affordable housing. That's one of the main reasons I'll be supporting you. You really impressed me, and I can assure you I'll be voting for you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, sir.
Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say that I was very impressed with your experience and your and joining the Peace Corps. I think it's just wonderful to give back like that. I just want to say welcome, and it's Anoyo? Oh, great, I said it right? Great. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
She's trying to show me up. Councilor Rotundo.
As I said before, Kedu. But you speak Spanish, you speak Hebrew, you speak English. What else do you speak? You get a hit.
I've had the good fortune to be around a lot of different places and study formal languages, but I would say in order of like efficiency, English, Spanish, Portuguese, Igbo, I should work on it,
Right.
but and French.
You've worked for the IMF, you've worked for the World Bank, you've actually structured programs in the Dominican Republic as well as Costa Rica. You're a graduate of Johns Hopkins as well as Morehouse. Your resume is something that this city has not had encountered in a very, very long time, if at all. And your analytical capacities at your current job and what you do and so forth will come to bear here. Thank you for volunteering.
No, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And you have my vote.
Thank you, sir.
When I saw your credentials in your paper and work, and it certainly was very, very impressive, I thought that you were asking of us a recommendation for some high-priced job in Washington,
No,
you know,
sir, just looking towards the
that you're going on a national level, because you certainly have the academic background, and you certainly have world experience and affordable.
Thank you, sir. Okay, thanks.
Affordable housing is an important thing, and it's new concept to our community, and it's certainly something that's been long overdue, and we're certainly looking for people like yourself to lend your talents to our little community to help us understand better how it should be working and what's the rights and wrongs of it, because quite a few of us might be achieving that position, but are reviewing that position, not having really full background on it. You certainly have the background to do all that, and I think it's a great thing. We have one other counselor. We have one other I'm sorry. She has two titles. She's representative. Now she's counselor. So,
Thank you.
Madam Representative, City Councilor Jessica Giannino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And I have to
Counselor.
sit next to her the rest of the meeting, so I have to give her that play.
I appreciate it. I just want to say your resume speaks for itself. It is so impressive, and I just want to, welcome you to the community and thank you for, stepping up to serve. It takes a lot to want to take the time for positions like this, to step out of your, normal job and things that are happening to serve the community that you live in. So thank you for your willingness to be here and for coming before the Appointments Committee tonight. It also shows a lot that you're here, you're present, and you're speaking before us. As the former chairman of that committee that my dear colleague, Councilor Ganasso, chairs, it's so important, just making that first step and that great first impression, so thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, I think the mayor's done us proud by offering up your name, and I think you've done us proud by offering your services to our city. We certainly recognize that, and we wish you nothing but the best. We will be voting favorably this evening, as everybody's attested to, that they're all in favor of your appointment. There's no need for you to stay in attendance if you don't
I'll
so
stay, sir.
decide.
If it does a pleasure of this court, I definitely would love to stay and learn more about how things work.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
a lot.
and you want to see how it works and just do the opposite.
Well, thank you all for the
God bless and
opportunity.
thanks for
Thank you
your
all.
appearance. We'll
Thank you.
vote you all favorably this evening.
Thank you.
All in favor, all opposed? So ordered. And that concludes the appointment subcommittee meeting of September 13, 2021. Thank you.